Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Ijaz Ahmed Tatta and I am with you for today's first session that is about teacher self-evaluation. This is MPhil Education, Leadership and Policy Studies, and you are with me for the course Performance Evaluation of Educational Personnels. Let's see what is here. First of all, you can see the introduction of teacher self-evaluation. I believe that you are familiar with the evaluation process and system in our system of education, especially in conventional system, that is public sector as well as private. In the previous lessons, we have detailed discussions about this system of evaluation of the students as well as the system of evaluation of the teachers. We have studied about the different hallmarks and benchmarks on the basis which the administrators, the principals, the leaders, society, and top-down hierarchy evaluate the teacher's performance. But very interestingly, today we have to discuss how teachers evaluate their own performance, that is known as the teacher's self-performance. You know, every teacher consciously or unconsciously evaluates his daily and yearly performance. No doubt, his consciousness is about his repute, about his personality, about the quality of the work, about the achievement of the students, and at the same time, it's relevant and have deep concern towards his personal performance, on the basis of which he or she have to have some elevation towards his grade, scale, and enhancement in the salary or any other of the appreciation. So they are uh, used to evaluate themselves towards the daily lectures, daily performance, as well as the yearly performance. It allows teachers to express their own views about their performance and reflect on the personal, organizational, and institutional factors that had an impact on their teaching. No doubt, all of the earning and integrity and status of the teacher is based on his or her uh, teaching style and contribution towards the organization, to the institution, and towards the students. Therefore, the self-evaluation of his or her performance make him uh, eligible to know about, make it possible for him to know about his reflection, up to what extent that is appears from his personal factor and as well as the organizational factor and institutional factors. Here are some areas have been discussed through an teacher evaluation guide towards his self-evaluation of his performance. Herein discussed the 6 major areas that has been established, and its goal was to provide a simple, concise instrument which the teacher may use to assess his overall performance as a teacher. For any of the evaluation performance, rather it is external, internal, personal, self, by the organization, by the institution, by the teachers, by the society, by the management, there might be some certain criteria on which he or she has been assessed. So, in this guide, the six major areas have been identified that on the basis of which the teachers are considered for their overall performance. This guide might be known as the instrument. Self-evaluation is not intended to replace methods of assessment used by local boards. So, the certain processes being used by the different local criterion. It is similarly, it is self-evaluation. It is based on the likewise. It's not detached from the prevailing systems and styles. First of all, in this guide, it has been mentioned that the criteria on the basis of which the teacher's self-performance can be assessed or evaluated is about the responsibility. Responsibility about the teaching skills. You know, teaching skills plays a vital role towards the performance of the teacher, the integrity of the teacher, the repute of the teacher in the class, in the institution, in the organization as well. So much so it have deep impact and concern towards the society in terms of the parents of the students, as uh, students are used to discuss their teachers' style and their skills at their home with their peer, with their colleagues, with their siblings. So the teacher having much confidence and some certain specific skills through which he or she make it possible to his students to understand the lesson. It attracts the students towards him. And finally, what happened? It yields better results, and the good results of the class, of the institution, ultimately are correlated towards the teacher's performance skills. Second, towards the responsibility is teaching strategies. Let me share with you, there is some sort of difference between skills and strategies. Skills are the activities which are going on in the classroom, whereas strategies as a part of planning, according to which the teacher have to perform in the classroom or have to deal with the lessons and his class. So the number three here towards the responsibility is classroom management. No doubt, well managed classroom looks decent toward the observer, and students also feel ease towards the learning and accepting the notions of teacher. If there is mismanagement in the class, the students suffer and teacher's performance becomes under question. and the external evaluators and performance evaluators and the observers do have some certain level of dissatisfaction. So it's very necessary that classroom must be managed, and it is the responsibility of the teacher not to use only writing board and not go for only readings and not go for only talking, but at the same time, at any level. It starts from nursery to doctoral degrees. Teacher have to play his role towards managing the class. So it's becomes under the strategy, because we know the teachers are leaders in the classroom. So every leader have its followers, his followers, and in the classroom, students are the followers of the teachers. So if teacher is himself or herself is managed, no doubt the classroom will certainly be a managed class. Subject competence and professional growth. So towards the subject competence, it's very necessary for teacher to have command on the content and its delivery skills. For this, they have to put their all practice, all potential into practice, and whole the year they have to in touch with the content, reading, developing, learning, gone through some special courses, refresher courses offered by the institution, offered by the department, or at his or her own level, because his contribution, his participation towards the seminars, conferences, and discussion groups make him professionally strong. It develop his professional growth. So this professional growth is directly correlated with the subject competence. So the currency and novelty in his own knowledge towards his subject, his content, have direct impact on the student's learning. And when teacher is much learned and have some competence towards his subjects, the classroom management is automatically controlled. And his teaching strategies ultimately, naturally, are aligned with his uh, the competence. Interpersonal relationships. The interpersonal relationships of teacher towards students, towards the institutional personnel, and within his colleagues have very positive impact on his responsibility, because time to time innovation and development in different areas of his capacity and learning and growth are related with his interpersonal relationship, because the peer have some certain level of uh, concern with his responsibility. They guide him, they can identify his weaknesses, on the result of which he can manage and remove those weaknesses. And uh, on the parallel, he or she might have some appreciation from his peers through that have a positive impact on his working capacity, his competence. No doubt, interpersonal relationships are very necessarily playing a role towards his competence, his professional growth. Contribution to the total school effort. Uh, School is like a machine, and all of the stakeholders, infrastructure, and the separate going on activities are its part and parcel that collaboratively and collectively make it a complete machine. So the efficiency of the individual efforts, individual components make the efficiency of the school. That is the school effort. School effort is towards the learning, teaching, imparting knowledge, making attitude and behavior of the students and the stakeholders and the staff as well, and providing them curricular and co-curricular activities, their contribution towards learning and towards the society. And no doubt, uh, a bundle of things are going uh, at the same time from starting to the leave time in the school. So many of the time at parallel times when he is teaching, he is learning as well, he is commanding, he is managing, he is leading, he is supporting, he is participative. So many facets in a day have been uh, reflected from the personality of a teacher, from the assignment of the teacher. No doubt all these facets are going to strengthen the efforts that makes a total school efforts. And finally, it is reflected in the efficiency of the school towards the society, as people are used to highlight the teachers, the school's name, that that one school is a very good school, and they are ambitious to have admission of their children there. So that reputation that is highlighted by the people about that school is the result of the total school effort that is made by starting from the janitorial assistant to the senior management. Let's discuss in detail here the teaching skills. No matter what learning activities are used, teachers perform in certain ways. For example, a teacher will praise, ask questions, give directions, and explains. This section deals with the act of teaching. In the major act of the activities during whole school day for a teacher, it's the act of teaching. No doubt he is knowing many other things. He is providing directions and explaining the things and asking questions and praising and providing facility to parents and management at the same time. That is his managerial work. He or she have to do necessarily, but he have to teach. He have to check the homework of the students, have to comment on that, and have to prepare some assignments, quizzes, and have to evaluate the students, prepare their reports, and these reports are shared with the management of the school and with the students and the parents. And he is also providing guidelines, both of the parents and the students, to cope with the anomalies and efficiency of the students in the school. So all the time, he or she is uh, involved in doing something. So this all is a component, a part of the act of teaching. Because not only in the classroom, talking for 40 minutes or whatever the time span is for a certain period is the act of teaching. It is on the whole activity through which they have to play their role. While discussing the teaching strategies, teachers, independent of their individual skills and personalities, used varied methods to achieve the objectives of the program. This section deals with the strategies employed in effective teaching. So in this instrument of the performance valuation of the self that is used for teacher self-evaluation is strategies complied in effective teaching. You know, uh, not a single strategy is used towards teaching, towards achieving the objectives of the classroom. To achieve the classroom objectives, multi strategies, multi methods of teaching at the same time teacher have to use. So this is the second component or the standard of the instrument to measure the evaluation of the teacher. Through this, he can himself evaluate him up to what extent he or she has used the different strategies towards effective teaching. You know, effective teaching is only uh, done if the results of his teaching have been reflected from his students or class. Classroom management. The effective teacher develops methods of dealing with disciplinary and administrative matters which will maximize the learning situation. You know, in class, there are different sort of matters and problems with the students that might be of some light, some sitting issue, distance from the writing board, and sitting with their colleagues and peers, and the situation of some environment, traveling, and might be some problems from the parents at home. So the preoccupied students are unable to learn in the class. So within the classroom, to provide the environment conducive to learning is the responsibility of teacher, through which he or she can be said that he is an effective teacher. And he becomes effective through developing and dealing different disciplinary and administrative matters. So this is the third standard to evaluate the performance of the teacher in the classroom. The subject competence and professional growth. As I earlier discussed that the teacher enters the profession with the certified academic or vocational background. He grows professionally when he takes advantage of the opportunities to improve his knowledge and instructional qualifications. No doubt all of the teachers have taken some professional certification or degree like Bachelor in Education, B.Ed and M.Ed or MPhil, so-called, up to PhD. This makes them certified or able that they are eligible to teach the classroom. And it is reflective from this certification that academically and vocationally they have sound background towards teaching. But that was uh, earned at the time of entry in the job. So with the passage of time, there is a variety of enhancement and advancement of the academic strategies and vocational learning. Teaching and learning process have been improved with the passage of time because classroom objectives and curriculum revisions have been made there. So the certificates and degrees sought in at the time of entrance in the teaching job is not uh, okay for throughout the career. The teachers have to uh, keep in touch with the latest advancements and have to take opportunities to improve their knowledge and their instructional qualifications with the passage of time. And time to time, they have to uh, uh, go through for different refresher courses, for different workshops, for different seminars on the uh, instructional activities and different short courses. They they will make him up to date towards his profession. No doubt this will be learned as his professional growth and professional development. Organizations, institutions, departments, and the government are also tend towards providing these facilities. But a teacher should not be only uh, bound towards the provision of the opportunity from the other side. He or she should have his own efforts and own desire to learn. And nowadays, it's very easy to enroll in any of the courses online. We do have a platform that is the MOOCs, MOOCs MOOCs. That is free of cost, and teacher can enroll to learn the things, the prevailing practices going across the world, and he or she can upgrade himself going through these courses. Interpersonal relationships with students, staff, and other adults. Through his daily interpersonal relationships, the teacher has a unique opportunity to help young people develop and mature through his examples and directions. So I think so, according to my opinion, it's the core responsibility of a teacher to integrate his personal experiences and examples in his lecture to make a level of understanding of the students and their motivation level high. In addition, he can be the positive influence on other staff members and can establish valuable contacts with the parents and other concerned adults in the community. No doubt, his on the basis of his interpersonal skills, he can be the much popular among of his staffs, and he can develop and have some positive influences on his colleagues because it's totally deals with his personality, with his vision, with his skills and his performance. So through this, he or she can have much positive impact, much positive influence on his students, on his colleagues, and the parents as well. Contribution to the total school effort. It has been said that tone of a school is affected by the attitude and action of each teacher, above and beyond the call of duty. Not only the duty hours, but on and off, before and after the duty hours, they have the opportunity to affect the attitude through their action, on the basis of which the tone of school is set. So if they are positive, they have a positive influence on the people and they are working with some sort of efficiency with the zeal and zest, no doubt school affections will also be accordingly. This section deals with these extras required of the teacher beyond his classroom work. One might be a good mentor for speech context, for some other co-curricular activities like supports, like field notes, field trips, like other Islamic values and preachings. So many of the activities at the parallel time, at the same time, are going parallel to the teaching. So other than the classroom, the teacher have their extra performances that plays a vital role towards the total school effort, and the resultantly school has good repute in the vicinity. So summarizing once again all these six components of the instrument used for teacher self-evaluation. Number one is the teaching skills. Number two, teaching strategies. Three is the classroom management. Four is the subject competence and professional growth. Five is interpersonal relationships with the students and adults. Six is contribution to the total school effort. So the bunch of all these six uh, components of this instrument, teacher can himself or herself evaluate his performance in the school towards the contribution of the institution, towards the contribution for students' academic skills, interpersonal skills, extra skills, his strategies, and he or she can rank him up to what extent he is playing his role and putting his efforts to achieve the objectives of the school, objectives of the classroom, and so much so national objectives. Because on basis of all these things, the parents, the management, and the students also have a certain point of view about that teacher, and teachers himself can make some reflective paper about themselves, that up to what extent they are playing their role towards the contribution for society, for school, for students, and if they are satisfied, if they have some inner satisfaction, or they have to do more to be satisfied with their performance. Because this profession, is known as the profit profession. So here the major component is the satisfaction, and let me share here a hadith from Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Sharing knowledge and the right and positive knowledge towards any of the people, towards your students, towards your family, towards your peer, colleagues, and fellows is also a type of sadaqah. So it's very necessary for us to take care of this. Finally, we can conclude today's this discussion about teacher self-evaluation by reading through this guide. The teacher has been reviewing many facts that go together to produce good teaching. So this is the criteria, this is the instrument, this is a guide on the basis of which one can review, one can further plan, one can assess his or her performance towards the teaching, whether it was effective teaching or not. Thank you. Allah Hafiz. See you in next session. I hope you have taken interest in listening this video. If you do have any question, query, you are required to write on the Google Classroom and I will respond. We may also discuss through uh, Google Meet, but before that you have some sound questions, sound queries. So I am on your disposal. Whenever you want, we can discuss it, but during the Google class. Okay, Allah Hafiz.